Hello everyone, I am Ashok Jayavantadushin, working as Assistant Professor in Department of Geography, Sri Shiv Chhatrapati College, Unnar, Pune, Maharashtra. I am here to present my seminar presentation on global warming and climate change for an online refresher course in Environmental Studies and Sustainable Development, organized by UGC HRDC, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, Maratwada University, Aurangabad. So, what is global warming and climate change? It is one of the alarming issues in 21st century. Global warming is the increase in the average major temperature of the Earth's near surface air and ocean since the mid 20th century and its projected continuation. In media, it is synonymous with the term climate change. Global surface temperature increased by 0.18 to 0.74 degrees during the 100 years ending in 2005. The Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change IPCC concludes most of the observed increase in globally average temperature since the mid 20th century is very likely due to the observed increase in greenhouse gas concentration via an enhanced greenhouse effect. So, what is greenhouse effect? What is it? What are greenhouse gases? Carbon dioxide, water vapor, methane, chlorofluorocarbon, nitrous oxide, ozone. These are the greenhouse gases. So, how it works? It works as like the effect shows in this image. Sunlight can pass through the windscreen and warm up the inside of the car. The heat can't get back out through the windscreen. The car becomes hotter. So the greenhouse effect, some energies, the solar energy from the sun passes through the atmosphere. Some energy reflected back to space. Earth's surface is heated by the sun and radiates the heat back out towards the space in long wave radiation, and then greenhouse gases in the atmosphere trap some of the heat. So it is the process by which absorption and emission of infrared radiation by atmospheric gases warm a planet's lower atmosphere and surface. Naturally occurring greenhouse gases have a mean warming effect of about 33 degree, without which Earth would be uninhabitable. On Earth, the major greenhouse gases are water vapor, which causes about 36 to 70% of the greenhouse effect, then carbon dioxide, which causes 9 to 26%, methane, which causes 4 to 9%, and ozone, which causes 3 to 7%. The issue is how the strength of the greenhouse effect changes. When human activity increases atmospheric concentration of some greenhouse gases, the total annual anthropogenic greenhouse gases emission by gases from 1970 to 2010. It increased in 1970 by 1.3% yearly, and it increased in 2010 2.2% increase, 2.2% in yearly. So this shows that the temperature is increasing day by day. So global climate change. What is the global climate change? Identifiable change in the climate Earth as a whole that lasts for an extended period of time, decades or longer. When due to natural processes, it is usually referred to as global climate variability. Usually refers to changes forced by human activities that change the atmosphere. So observe globally overage combined land and ocean surface temperature anomaly from 1850 to 2012. It shows that annual average temperature is increasing, decadal average temperature is also increasing, the Arctic sea ice extent is decreasing, global mean sea level is increasing, then observed change in surface temperature is also increased, observed change in annual precipitation over land is decreased. So causes of global warming. Greenhouse emission caused due to rapid industrialization, population explosion, depletion of natural resources, natural phenomena, then modification of ecosystems. The greenhouse effect. The solar radiation passes through the clear atmosphere. Incoming solar radiation 343 watt per million per metric square. Net incoming solar radiation 240 watt per metric square. Solar energy is absorbed by the Earth's surface and warms it. 168 watt per uh, metric square. Then some of the infrared radiation and is converted into heat, causing the emission of long wave radiation back to the atmosphere. Surface gains more heat and infrared radiation is emitted again. Some of the infrared radiation is absorbed and re-emitted by the greenhouse gas molecules. The direct effect is the warming of the Earth's surface and the troposphere. Solar radiation is reflected by the atmosphere and Earth's surface. Outgoing solar radiation is 103 watt per meter, and some of infrared radiation passes through the atmosphere and is lost in space. Net outgoing infrared radiation is 240 watt per um, million square metric square. So rising impact of global warming. As we see that it will become worse for the environment and also living things. With continued intensive reliance on fossil fuels and emission increases, extinction of more than 40% of known species, global economic losses of up to 5% GDP, commitment to at least partial melting of Greenland and West Antarctic ice sheets, eventually raising sea level 30 to 20 feet up to 2080s. Substantial burden on health services. Global food production decreases about 30% of global coastal wetland loss. Major changes in natural systems cause predominantly negative consequences for biodiversity, water and food supplies, widespread coral mortality, and millions more people face flooding risk every year up to 2050s. Increased risk of extinction for 20 to 30% of known species, most of coral bleach. Increased mortality from heat waves, floods, and droughts. Decreasing water availability, increasing drought in many regions, increasing wildfire risk, increased flood and storm damage, increasing burden from malnutrition, diarrheal, cardiorespiratory and infectious diseases will be increased. So the image shows that concentration of CO2 in the atmosphere over a period of time if emission continue unaltered. This shows that the increase in the carbon dioxide present CO2 concentration 386 part per million, whereas after 50 years it will be increased up to 600 part per million. So this shows that the temperature anomaly, the image shows the temperature anomalies around the world attributed to global warming, and it will become hotter day by day. So global mean temperature also increase day by day, and this is the impact of global warming. Small glaciers and ice caps are melting. The image shows uh, the difference. Then in 1993, the image shows the effect of global warming on ice-covered mountain. And major effects of global warming: melting of polar ice caps, rise in sea levels, throw global ecosystems out of balance, will endanger several species of animals. Other problems faced by the ecosystem or human beings. Spread of diseases, warmer waters, and more hurricanes, increased probability and intensity of droughts and heat waves. Economic consequences, loss of biodiversity, destruction of ecosystem, etc. So these are some of the pictures what will be the happen. So many of the cities, they will go on under the water, then water level of sea water level increase and coastal region goes under the water. So mosquitoes like that, other insects will be increased due to heating. And in desert atmosphere there will be worse condition. Some ice caps will be melt, and because of that, the water sea level will be increase. So what are the mitigation of global warming? Mitigation of global warming involves taking action to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and to enhance things aimed at reducing the extent of global warming. This is in distinct to adaptation to global warming, and which involves taking action to minimize the effect of global warming. Energy efficiency and conservation, urban planning, building design, use of passive solar building design, low energy building or zero energy building techniques using renewable heat source will be help to conserve the energy resources. Then transport, plug-in hybrid electric vehicles, a shift from air transport and truck transport to electric rail transport, increase use of biofuels. Then carbon carbon capture and storage, is a plan to mitigate climate change by capturing carbon dioxide from large point sources such as power plants and subsequently storing it away safely instead of releasing it into the atmosphere. Then carbon sequestrations. Carbon sequestration is a term that describes process that remove carbon from the atmosphere, seeding oceans with iron, solar shades, and geoengineering. This will be enhancement of carbon sequestration in the soil. Then seeding oceans with iron. It is motivated by evidence that seeding the oceans with iron will increase phytoplanktons populations and thereby draw more carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Solar shades. Some scientists have suggested using aerosols and or sulfate dust to alter the earth effectively by burning sulfur in the stratosphere as an emergency measure to increase global dimming and thus have of the effect of global warming. It will, however, increase the environmental problem of acid rain and drought. Governmental and intergovernmental action. Policies like Kyoto Protocol, carbon emission trading, carbon tax should be implemented strictly. Then population control is one of the mitigation. The population explosion is a fundamental factor that has led to global warming. Because of this, various organizations promote population control as means for mitigating global warming. Proposed measures include improving access to family planning and reproductive health care and information, public education about the consequences of continued population growth. So, in concluding here, IPCC said that their effects, those of human caused greenhouse gases, together with those of other anthropogenic drivers, have been detected throughout the climate systems and are extremely likely to have been the dominant cause of the observed warming since the mid 20th century. So that's it from my side. Thanks for watching. Thank you.